Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 33 of the Gilded City 2, The Lost Kingdom. We are back again, bringing you more fun and excitement. We are short Matt again tonight. I know he's missed a couple of these recent episodes, but hopefully that'll be cleared up very, very soon. But with all that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're joining us there. And if you're joining us from the podcast, leave us a review / rating and follow the podcast and tell people about it. Tell people that you like it and you want them to check it out. Also, follow us on social media at Rollers Guild DND on Twitter, on Threads, Instagram, and TikTok.
On Twitter?
We are, well, okay. What's
Twitter?
So I did tweet today from the Twitter account because our first episode back just came out today. Little peek behind the curtain for all of you to know how far ahead we are in filming right now. So as of this recording, we are still on Twitter. But probably by the time this comes out, I'll have phased out the Twitter and moved things over to the Threads. So anyway, follow some Threads and maybe on Twitter. I don't know. Yeah, I can't keep track of two at once, so sorry. I think that's everything though. So let's go ahead and dive on in to tonight's episode. Content warning. Ravenloft as a setting can feature disturbing themes and ideas, and while it is never going to be our intention to upset anyone, it is worth noting. Specific tags can be found in the description of this episode. Last time, the party went into the general's headquarters in an attempt to find out about the truth about her and her arrival in Falkovnia. Unfortunately, attempts at evading the general's attention failed, and with Nyx caught, the party jumped into action. In the chaotic fight, the general was killed and the town hall was burned down. The party fled the scene and now have to figure out their next step as they wait to see if the zombie hordes will show up or not in the general's absence. So this is where we left off. Nobody knows that you all killed the general.
Except that one dude.
But there were a couple of lower level escapees from the fight. So that is potentially out in the city. Unclear how much they know. What they know, etc. But they were present for the beginning of the fight and not the end of the fight. As you're sort of, you retreated back to sort of the place where you were staying here to talk. And as you're sort of recouping right after this big fight, trying to figure out what to do next, you can already hear from outside bells ringing throughout the city, voices talk, like, you know, the din of large crowds like right outside the door is already sort of gathering. What would you all like to do?
What do we do now?
I think we just stay with the crowds and go gather.
I don't know about you, but I probably could use a little bit of a rest.
Oh, for sure.
I think I'm still smoldering.
Yeah.
Can Artie prestidigitate us to make us not look like we were in a burning building?
Sure. Artemis cast prestidigitation a few times to clean you
So
all.
smart.
But I second the need for a rest.
Diesel jumps in and says, yeah, you know, I know I wasn't really involved in the fight, so, you know, take this how you want to take it. There is gonna be sort of a power struggle, a power vacuum here without the general. If you all want any say in who's gonna take charge, you're probably gonna want to get on that, like, immediately.
Ugh. Why do we have to do
That's fair.
everything?
You do what you want. I'm just
Who's
telling you.
Who here is good at public speaking?
Artemis.
Artemis, Nyx.
No, this
Um,
is me saying
Jinarra.
not me.
Jinarra is good at public speaking. She
I
did.
mean, in fairness, I had script writers. I wasn't coming up with my own speeches.
You're a politician. I voted for you. Oh wait, did I? No, I couldn't vote for you, right?
You couldn't vote for me
Yeah,
at the
'cause I was
time,
born.
but yeah, I mean,
Now
But
I
she
had-
helped us get the vote.
Right.
right. But I had someone on my staff who made my speeches. But yes, I can try.
Also,
to
I
public
think Penny
speak.
was in the wrong district. Anyway.
Oh
but,
my god.
Just throwing that out.
You're decent at talking to people,
Bowmin.
The
What?
aren't you?
Yeah, he's
If
giving
we're talking about stats, yeah, definitely. Personally though,
But we're not interested in being the
No.
ones in charge. We're just interested in like amplifying the person that we want, right? I don't know if we
who
necessarily.
do you know who do you know who you want to take charge?
We
Ivan.
Ivan.
yeah.
Ivan.
I mean, I would at least go talk to him. He may not even know what's going on right now.
yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, let's go.
Also, are the minions like in the crowd, the ones that saw us? Like, do we know where they are?
We know they ran off. I don't.
But they're not
I'm-
like we don't see them like immediately around us right now.
They
Okay.
they know that we were there. They know that we were fighting the general. They do not know that we killed the general.
Should we split up? Should some of us go find Ivan and some of us try to track them down?
Sure.
I
Also, someone should be in this general vicinity just in case like a huge fight breaks out.
I will
yeah.
stay here.
How do you know how many people got away?
3.
3?
I think it was 3.
I don't think we need to worry about them.
We say that now.
Yeah.
And then when we're tied up on stakes, I'm gonna say, Nyx, remember when you said we didn't have to worry about
Yeah,
them?
but like
And now we can't go home.
we just have to make it through what? Another like tonight? One more day? I don't know.
Yeah, just a zombie invasion.
Well-
Next at sundown tomorrow there will be
Sundown
the
tomorrow.
invasion.
Okay. So we just have to make it to sundown tomorrow. And then after that, doesn't the like portal mist thing open up?
In theory.
I still think someone should be in the general town square area just in case something happens, like a big fight or maybe a vote. I don't know. Some of us should be here.
Now, I'm
Hayes,
so sorry, Bowman, you go.
I was gonna say Hayes and I could probably do some crowd control pretty easily.
That's not a bad idea. Also, I would say back when I was in the Cormyrian intelligence apparatus, back in the day, you know, we would sometimes counter certain rumors by putting our own conflicting
Oh,
rumors
Definitely need to do
out
that.
into the public. Maybe that's how you handle the guys who got away. Because at this point, it'll be like finding a needle in a haystack.
So we say they killed her.
Or
I'm not
we're
saying
just
that
like
necessarily. I'm just saying, like,
we say that they like disobeyed orders and ran away, so they're just trying to cover up their butts.
you could do that, but do you know their names? Like, you don't have a whole lot to work with.
No, but
What
if,
I'm saying is throwing out like some totally different rumor. Like, let's say there's 3 guys running around starting rumors that those new people in town killed the general. Well, maybe somebody, not one of you, maybe a handsome bird person starts a separate rumor about, I don't know, maybe how there was a idiot who left an open flame near some black powder, and
Well, there was the library downstairs.
the-
At least they say something started down there. Old books
sure.
tend to
They
burn
were
really
celebrating a birthday party and their candle fell onto the books, and then it all went up into flame because the building was not up to code.
well. I don't
And the
think this
new
is the
people valiantly tried to save the general, but unfortunately failed.
that does sound a lot better than what actually happened.
Diesel, you go start telling people that.
Oh, also, Diesel, there's a handsome bird person here. I didn't know that. I'm surprised you haven't introduced us.
Does he flip him the birds?
I'm gonna let that one slide.
No.
I'm gonna let that one slide, Bowmin.
Fuck you.
So you want me to spread countering rumor?
Yes,
Sure.
yes.
Yes.
Go for it.
Okay.
But
All right.
only if you hear rumors.
In my experience, it's best to get on top of things before that happens.
I guess.
Diesel, you do what you think is best. I'll stay in the square with Bowmin and Hayes.
The rest of us
Take
go
Ivan.
things off.
Ivan?
Yep.
All right. Bowmin and Penny, you are staying in the general vicinity of the square as you sort of re-emerge into sort of the more public space. You've been having this conversation in a more private area.
Oh, this wasn't in just broad daylight.
Yeah.
We were in
Okay,
the middle
good.
of the group.
Talking about killing the general in the middle of a mob.
Thanks.
As sort of this crowd of people are gathering in the center of the city, you know, this huge pillar of smoke where the town hall once was. You can see Crimson Talon guards roughly shoving citizenry away. The citizens are like all, you know, pretty frantic, like, what happened? Like, what's going on? The zombies attacking early, like, it's the general. What happened? What's going on? And they're getting like more and more like panicky and riled up, and the Crimson Talon Guard are also panicky and riled up. And
Oh, this
you can see that you are on the verge of a riot breaking out here.
Can Bowmin is the aid of Hayes is just going to try to get everyone's attention just to, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, could I?
Well,
I-
you're with the other group, I believe.
Oh shit!
Sorry.
Where did I go? Oh yeah, I am with the
Yeah,
other
you're
group.
going to Ivan.
mind.
So, Bowmin, how exactly are you and Hayes trying to get everyone's attention? What are you doing specifically?
Well, Hayes with his 3 heads are probably going to bark.
Uh-huh.
And then Bowmin, once the crowd is a little bit more at attention, will say,
I know there's a lot going on right now, but we need to tend to the injured. If you have burns, injuries of any sort, please make even organized line here.
All right.
Anybody else is trying to put out the fire, just focus on that. Crimson's guards, do not harm these people.
Yeah, I'll have you go ahead and make for me. I honestly feel like this is a performance check.
Yeah, it is.
So make a performance check for me.
No advantage or anything. I mean, if my hype man Penny wants to give me like, the help action by saying, yeah,
I'm helping.
What are you doing to help? I do need you to be a little bit more specific in this circumstance because Bowmin was literally Sam just said, does my hype man Penny want to help me? And you're like, yeah, I do.
Can I
And
go
this is
over
high
to the
stakes.
Can I go over to the building where people are trying to put out the fire and start trying to like organize people into some sort of way?
Okay, yeah.
Like a nice organized line, so we're all doing the pail of water to the front,
Okay.
pour it on, pour it back,
Sure. Penny, just roll for me a flat charisma check, and if you roll above an 11 total, your help action is successful.
Now listen. 5.
Okay, it's just a flat roll.
Okay. You said performance, right? Ooh.
Yep.
That's not horrible. That's a dirty 20.
Nice, very nice. All right. Okay. Hayes lets out this like thunderous bark which echoes off the walls of nearby buildings and such. And you give your little speech. You're sort of like positioning yourself between sort of the front of the crowd of commoners and the line of Talon guards. Everybody like steps down a hair on their sort of panic level. There's not huge fight is no longer just about to break out. Tensions are obviously still quite high, but it doesn't look like there's any immediate danger of a brawl opening up here on the street. And you are able to organize people into the line, start providing any spells or lay on hands you have left you can use, or you can also just do like standard like bandaging, all that kind of stuff.
I am going to do the basic bare minimum about lay on hands, because I assume there's not probably more than like 3 dozen people here.
Well,
right?
No, like more and more people are filtering in, but in terms of people who were like injured in the fire, there's not a ton.
Okay. I also would like to create food and water and just make a bunch of stuff to hand out to people as well.
Sure. The food also helps diffuse some tensions. Penny, you're helping to continue to put out the smoldering fire at this point.
How much lay on hands points do you want me to take away? I have 65, just so you know.
Let's say you can burn 20 of them.
Sounds good to me.
25.
Who's
25,
second in command? Like, is there someone that everyone is looking towards for answers?
So do you ask one of the guards?
Yeah.
Or
yeah, I'll ask who is the general second in command? Who's supposed to be taking control right now?
The many of the general's high-ranking people were in the building with her. I don't think any of them made it out. So I suppose it would fall to Bjorn.
Okay. The scientist?
Yeah,
Okay, where is he?
I would assume in his apartment.
Okay. So we should bring him down. Can someone go get him?
Yeah, I mean, I think he was still recovering, but yeah, if you think I should fetch him, I can go do that.
I would say he probably should be here right now, yeah.
Okay. Guard runs off to go gather Bjorn. We'll cut away from you over in the center of the city and go to the other group who are making their way towards the south wall against the grain of the crowd to find Ivan and talk to him. And you are getting the sense that already the news, it has spread tremendously fast throughout the city. That something horrible has happened at the keep. And whispers that the general died in the fire. And you hear just a general like low level of like dread of panic as people are trying to figure out like, if the general's not gone, what are we gonna do? If the general's gone, what are we gonna do about the zombies? You do hear every once in a while somebody be like, well, maybe the general if the general's obviously not dead, like let's not jump to conclusions from here. And then you hear some people who are like, well, maybe the general being dead is not the worst thing in the world. I mean, she was a horrible like dictator over us and like blah blah blah. So you're getting like all of these sort of mixed different emotions from people, but just a general like tension and panic is building in the streets of the city as you're making your way towards the south wall. But you eventually arrive and make your way over to Ivan, who was assigned as your commanding officer during the zombie attack. And he turns to I guess Artemis would have gone with you also. He turns to the four of you and says, oh, hello. This is interesting. What is going on? I've heard all sorts of noise and the bells are ringing and huge pillar of smoke in the center of the city, and I'm assuming you know something about that because you are running in the opposite direction from all the people running towards the smoke at the center of the city.
Yeah. So the general is dead. She was in a fire along with several other, I don't know, high-ranking officers, I'm guessing. So the city's in a little bit of a panic. And we talked quick about who we thought would be a good person to possibly take over, and we thought you would be the best option for the city.
Now, that's okay. This is a lot. All very quickly, all of a sudden, the general is dead.
Yes.
Okay. Why do you think wait? What? So, I need more to work with here because my brain is all over the place.
There was a fire in the town hall.
Mm-hmm.
The general was inside. The fire spread quicker than people thought it would. And she did not make it out. And I'm pretty sure now the building's like falling down or something.
Everyone who was in there, it seems like no one really made it out except for anyone.
There were a few people that escaped before it got out of hand.
And how do you all know about this happening?
We were nearby and heard some explosions, and so we went inside, but by the time we got there, the fire was out of control, so we left very quickly.
I would love for you to make a deception check for me, Elina.
Okay.
I'm helping.
Same.
What are you guys doing to help?
Well, our
We're-
story.
Your story
Yeah.
is okay. Sure,
Yeah.
I'll allow it.
Yeah.
Roll with advantage.
Okay, a 20, non-natural 20.
Okay. going to do about the zombies? Did any of the general's battle plans survive? Do you know?
I'm not sure. We have not heard about the battle plans specifically.
A couple of our party members stayed behind to try to help put the fire out and tend to the wounded.
Yeah, so they might know more.
Would
Yeah,
there
they-
have been anybody who knew, like, what the plans were besides the general?
Maybe
Mm.
someone who wouldn't have been in the building.
The different, sort of district commanders knew their, like, I knew, my piece of it, but no one except the general and the absolute sort of top lieutenants would have known the entire plan. I guess we could try to cobble together something that resembles the full plan by all the district commanders talking to each other, but that's no guarantee of success there. Why do you think I'm good to take charge? And also, like, it's just so fast.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. You're the only real person of any authority besides the general that we've talked to, so you were kind of by default.
Oh, that's just love hearing real vote of confidence by default.
But we've also met a lot of people on our travels who've been in similar leadership type roles, and you fit the bill of those people
Yeah, you are
quite
very
well.
leadership-y.
Yeah.
Jinarra, go ahead and make a persuasion check for me with advantage. From help from the others.
My leadership-y really put it over the edge.
Yeah,
14.
14. It seems so fast.
Well, I mean,
know. Go
Well,
ahead.
it is fast, but here's the thing. Someone needs to take charge because, like it or not, there may be a zombie invasion tomorrow. And if no one is in charge, that will just guarantee that it goes worse than it needs to.
Hey, there's some logic in that. Elina, go ahead and make a persuasion check for me.
probably some really profound quote by some really important person about leadership and stepping up in times of need that
2.
exists.
No. I can't do math. It's not a 2. That was so stupid.
Now,
I don't know what I was looking at.
uh-huh,
That's a 7. Still
okay,
terrible. Not a 2.
not a 2, not a 2.
I'm sorry.
No, hey, don't apologize, Nyx, what were you, or Kelly, what are you doing something specific right now?
I'm just trying to look up quotes about leadership in times of crisis.
Where's
so that
Artemis? Can he
Nyx
play
can
us a
sound
song?
profound.
Yeah, you guys do have Artemis with you. Is there anything you want Artemis to say?
I feel like Artemis is good at like
I
little
want,
pep talks.
yeah, I want Artemis to come up with what he's going to say because I'm not good at it.
To be clear, I, as the DM, cannot puppet Artemis unless you tell me what you want Artemis to do.
Someone call Matt
Okay,
right
okay,
now.
hang on. I don't know who Brian Tracy is, but he's credited with saying the true test of leadership is how well you function in a crisis. So I want Artemis to say either that or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, wait, this one, I think this one's. No, the other. Never mind.
Yeah, that one's good.
Yeah.
And we'll have him offer to play a song to help inspire some confidence in
Right.
A
Ivan.
Song of Heroes.
yes, a
Right.
song of heroes.
He's gonna clap Ivan on the shoulder and say, because Ivan's like starting to like panic. And he's gonna clap Ivan on the shoulder. And what was the quote?
The true test of leadership is how well you function in a crisis.
Come now, Ivan. Everyone knows the truest test of a leader is how well you function in crisis. Look, let me do something. This is from my band. And he plays one of his hits, Watergate songs,
Ben.
about the adventures.
He plays
of
"Hey
Ends
Now,
the
You're an
Undead.
All-Star."
Yes, that's exactly what he plays. With that, I will go ahead and say, how do I want to communicate this? Elina, I will have you re-roll that check you made before. You may add a bardic inspiration to it, which I believe now is a D10.
Wow.
Double check the character sheet. All right, so I
Already
will
leveled up.
That was a nat 20 this time.
Ooh, I don't think you even need the bardic inspiration.
I mean, I only have a +1, but nat
yeah,
20.
very nice, very nice. Yeah, the bardic inspiration would have been a D10, but you don't need it.
Ooh, I have another one for Artie. In a moment of crisis, reactions set the leaders apart from the followers.
Ooh.
So
That
as
was
he
good.
finishes playing All Star, he says that.
Yep.
as well.
I'm gonna stop looking at inspirational quotes now.
Okay. Ivan sort of takes a deep breath and said, "Yes, you're you're right. You're right. The city does need something resembling leadership if the general is gone, and I know some of the other district commanders are probably going to be jumping at the chance, but I don't necessarily trust all of them to do it. So, all right, I guess towards the burning husk of the headquarters." He turns and waves at someone and says, "Dimitri, keep the men here for now. I'll send for you if I need you. All right, let's go."
We are.
You start making your way back towards the center of the city again. Penny and Bowmin, you're still helping with things in the center of the town as like a couple guards hurry over with Bjorn Horstman, still a little gaunt, still with deep bags under his eyes. What the hell happened here?
Okay, well, there was a fire in the general's quarters. Are we in an area where there's a lot of people? Like,
Yes.
can I pull him maybe with Bowman to the side of it so we're
You
not in
can
the
pull him
middle of
behind
square?
the line of guards.
Okay, yeah. And I'm gonna drop my voice a little. Okay, so there was a fire, as you can see, that's starting to go down, but is still a little bit raging. And there was a fire in the general's quarters, and the general is probably is dead. The general's dead.
One of the guards says, her burnt hardly. The only reason we were able to identify the body, somebody was able to get in as the fire started to die out. And the only reason we were able to identify her body is a bit of her armor, distinctive bit of her armor survived. I don't know what happened, Dr. Horseman.
Yeah, so city's a mess. And I don't know, we are not familiar with the political structure of this, how this dictatorship worked and who would be next. So
I wouldn't call that that's a dictatorship's kind of a harsh term.
Are we having an election then?
I didn't say that.
No.
You say a fire started?
Yeah, I mean,
What?
look at it. You can see it right over
No.
there.
A little smoldering.
How? What do you? How? Why were you here? What do you
Because
know?
there was a fire.
Yeah.
That started. People were injured, and we came to help. That's kind of what we do
That's what we've
Bowmin-
been doing.
this
Bo-
entire time.
Because no one else is.
Bowmin, make a deception check with help from Penny.
Oh, great.
Good double teaming back and forth there. Though.
I love that our double team is like, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you.
Thank goodness that was with advantage because it was a 1 and a 20
Hey.
for 25 total.
Sure. Right. Okay. Right. We should gather any of the commanders who remain in the city and discuss next steps.
We should tend to the wounded. General's dead.
Yes, and so will the entire city if zombies attack and we don't have a plan.
Great. So you have more than one man. Split them up.
And I'm saying that first priority right now is to get any remaining leadership in the same place to figure out how to move forward. So, he turns to one of the- he turns
Bless
to, he turns to one of the guards and tells him to gather all of the district commanders as quickly as possible.
Ivan's already running his
Well,
way.
I will say it is around this time that the others arrive with Ivan, so he is the first on the scene, like before the order is even fully out.
Punctual. That's general material over there. If I do say so myself.
Bjorn turns in surprise, and sort of narrows his eyes a little bit.
He was a commanding officer.
Yeah, what's that about? Did we notice he's narrowing his eyes?
He's just a little. Yeah, you do notice it. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh, why did I do that on the edge of my desk? 23.
He just seems suspicious on the timing
That's so fair.
of Ivan's rapid arrival. Ivan sort of makes his way over and says, Dr. Horseman, good to see you. I heard news of what happened here and a terrible tragedy, but we should gather everyone and strategize, I think. And Dr. Horseman says, yes, I was thinking the same thing as well. I just got the order. And who should arrive before the order even fully goes out but you, Ivan. Good timing.
Am I still here?
Yeah.
Okay, what is that suspicion for?
I am just remarking about this
Yeah.
timing.
Okay, well, he came because half of our party was over there because we were like, oh, we're probably going to need the officers. So we sent people to start getting officers.
Yes. Sure. Make a deception check, Penny.
What?
Make a deception
Yeah,
check, Penny.
That's a half truth. I mean,
Nothing
A
I said
half
was a
truth
lie.
is a deception check.
I'm literally telling the truth. 17 plus 0.
Okay.
Hey.
Hmm. Well, I appreciate your saving me.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You are,
That's it.
and I appreciate your desire to take initiative. We are still outsiders
welcome.
to our city, and so perhaps next time consult with someone before you move forward with what you have deemed to be the best course of action.
I'm sorry. What was I doing right now?
You,
Oh yeah, I found the next person.
And you sent
consulted
for
them.
Ivan before consulting me, who is closer.
Yes, because we know one officer, so we went to go get them.
Actually, and I chime in, we probably found Ivan when the rest of them started talking to you.
Also, I understand that we are outsiders, but we also are maybe going to be part of this riot / zombie invasion. So it is within our best interest to make sure that we have this figured out.
Yeah, we very much jump to action and try to minimize.
I care very much about me getting out of
damage.
here.
Yeah.
Yes, I have noticed that you seem to like to jump to action, which is
We have a god complex. I don't know what to tell you.
can be something of a hazard in an army setting.
Hey, actually, when have we jumped to action in your knowledge, sir?
Man, it really sucked when we jumped to action to save your ass. I gift of gab that. I gift of gab that!
You've gotten so much mileage out of Gift of Gab.
I'm using it right now.
Goodness.
Well, if it's all right with you, whatever title you go by, I am going to go back to well, I don't know. You seemed like you were higher above the chain of command, but I'm going to go back to tending to the weak and harmed. So, if you need me, I'll be over there.
Ivan turns to those of you that brought him over and says, "Yes, Dr. Horseman and I apparently are going to have to do some talking. Thank you for bringing me here as quickly as you did. We will talk more later." And they go off to the side. Is there anything else anyone wants to do at this point? / what is your plan now?
I think it would probably be a good idea if we could have a fly on the wall during that conversation, just in case Ivan gets,
Sure.
I've already used up my invisibility for the day, turning Nyx invisible earlier.
Artemis has invisibility?
I believe he does have invisibility.
I have greater invisibility, but it's only for a minute.
Right, but that one doesn't break if you do stuff.
Oh, okay. So, okay, yep. But it's only for a minute.
Right, but that's useful
Okay.
to know. But yeah, I mean, Artemis could either turn himself invisible or could turn someone else invisible. If you do want to spy on the meeting.
I don't mind spying unless someone else wants to spy. Okay.
That's a good idea, Jinarra.
I'm gonna take a break from spying, so yeah, you go for it.
You were fine.
I'm gonna take a break. I need to recover.
That's fair. Yeah, turn me invisible. And
Alright.
I can't cast any spells, right?
No spells, no attacks, no. I mean, I'll read you. You become invisible until the spell ends. Your stuff is also invisible.
Is
Spell
shadow
ends.
stepping a spell?
You don't think so. I think it's just an ability.
Okay.
But the spell ends for a target that attacks or casts a spell. So you're invisible, your stuff is invisible. Attacking and casting a spell is what breaks it.
I'm just gonna try to then shadow step somewhere nearby that's in shadow and listen in.
Okay. Great. And then what are the rest of you doing?
I'm
Zombies are tonight or tomorrow morning?
tomorrow night.
Tomorrow
night.
Okay. I think resting would probably be a good idea, but I would suggest we take watches in case a riot breaks out. Because it's me a big day tomorrow.
That sounds like a good plan.
Ben, what time of day is it roughly?
Late afternoon.
How's the crowd looking? General vibe.
Large, tense, but not on the verge of a riot anymore. Things seem to have, toned down. News is obviously spreading that the general, died in a horrible fire. So there is a general sense of dread and panic. But it hasn't sort of it's not at a boiling point yet. And you think the speech you gave earlier has done enough to keep things tamped down for the foreseeable future.
Can Bowmin do a little bit of crowd control and just try to disperse people?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead and make a I'll let you choose between persuasion, performance, or intimidation.
I think I'm probably going to try to do persuasion because I don't want to intimidate these people because I want them to be,
right.
That's going to make it more upset.
Right.
Okay. 21.
You managed to start dispersing the crowd and, just assure people that, the remaining leadership has things in hand and it'll be okay and, all that stuff. People don't seem entirely convinced, but they seem willing enough to let it rest for now and go back to their homes and such. Jinarra, you are just nearby, listening in. Go ahead and make a perception check for me.
You got it. 15 plus 13 for 28.
28. Wow. Yeah. You can hear every word. Ivan and Dr. Horstman are, starting to have a conversation, and Ivan is saying, "Look, Dr. Horstman, I know you were developing some kind of weapon for the general to use in the zombie attack. You're going to need to tell us what the weapon is and what it does and where it is. So if the zombie, so that we can defeat the zombies when they come tomorrow night, if it comes to that."
Mm-hmm.
And Dr. Horstman says, "It is called the Annihilator. I would imagine it was in the general's armory in the building that just burned down. Don't know if it was destroyed, probably wasn't, but it's now buried under smoldering rubble."
Remind me, for some reason I thought he wasn't letting the weapon away from him.
Well, he wasn't when you
Prior
picked
to
it
him
up, but
arriving.
he handed it over to the general upon his arrival. Is at least I don't know if you saw him hand it off to the general, but correct, he didn't let it out of his sight
Okay.
until he was back. And then after that, at some point, he handed it over to the general, is what you're gathering.
Okay. Bullshit.
Okay, so first course of action then should probably be to, well, while we all compare notes and figure out who's going to be in charge during the zombie attack, probably going to have some people try to unbury the weapon. Dr. Horseman says, I don't know what you mean. Figure out who's going to be in charge. If the general and the lieutenants in there were all killed, I'm in charge. Ivan says, respectfully, Dr. Horstman, you are a man of the arcane, you are a man of science, you're not a man of military strategy. Your weapons have helped in the past, despite their penchant for collateral damage. But it has not been your weapons that have won the attacks of the zombies. It's been the strategy of the general. So respectfully, perhaps you should leave command to someone in the military. Yeah, Bowmin, the stick of dynamite you gave the general exploded in the ball of inferno that she created when she exploded. Yeah. You can see, Jinarra, you can see in from this exchange, Horseman wants to give another retort, but it's around this time that the other commanders all showed up. He says, he just looks at Ivan like a little sour, and then he turns to the other set and starts saying, oh, good, you're all here. So, and then Ivan cuts him off and says, hello, yes, short version, General died in a fire, unfortunately. I know the immediate reaction is going to be to panic. We should not do that. We still have the city to defend tomorrow night. Nobody who knew the entire plan is still alive. So we all need to put together our puzzle pieces of the plan to try to figure out what the general's overall plan was. If we can do that, we can still defend the city, even without General Drakov here. With that, the meeting sort of kicks off, and you just hear each person is sort of talking out their part of the plan. At one point, they do get the attention of a runner who gives the order to try and find the metal box that the weapon was in the rubble, but that is going to take quite some time. It was a large building that just burned down. But they're going to start trying to unbury it. Bjorn is looking annoyed and somewhat frustrated off to the side during all of this. The conversation is going on and on. Jinarra, you know you're approaching the end of your 1 hour mark on invisibility. So you should probably make yourself scarce.
Yep.
So that is how that whole thing goes down. Okay. So you all have kind of set things in motion with everyone here. Is there anything else you guys want to do, or are you gonna go long rest?
would like to long rest.
I would like to try to just hear really quickly what some of the rumors may be that people are talking about, just to see like what the general consensus is.
Make a perception check.
That's a good call.
And while you're doing that, Bowmin, roll a d20 for me and add Diesel's charisma.
19.
Okay.
19.
Diesel's charisma. Oh, his charisma is not horrible. It's a 19.
19? Okay. Okay. And then what did you get again, Penny? Sorry.
19.
19. Okay. Yeah, you sort of, just pay attention to the crowds as you're walking by, listening to what you're hearing, listening to the word on the street, as it were. You don't hear anybody mentioning that the new people had anything to do with the fire. Anytime you hear the new people, your group, however you're being mentioned, you're hearing about them being you're hearing about them being you guys being involved in like the cleanup and taking care of things and all of that. And then you are hearing every once in a while somebody saying that there might have been some foul play involved, but it is super uncommon to hear foul play mentioned, and never in conjunction with your group. So,
Nice job, Diesel.
but yeah. Anybody doing anything else?
Is it pretty obvious that they're looking through the rubble for stuff? And also, how late in the day is it now?
I mean, it's still late afternoon. I mean, it's been Jinarra listened for an hour. So you haven't late afternoon, early evening, somewhere in that time frame right now.
Oh, so dinner time.
Yeah. You notice there are some troops that are beginning to excavate the rubble. But not, that's not necessarily surprising, right? I mean, you would expect that anytime this sort of thing happened.
Okay. With the information that I presume Jinarra told us about the weapon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Would it be odd if I went and helped to dig through the rubble, or
could we casually just go and be like, are you looking for something that we can help with?
Are you looking for any survivors?
The guard you walk up to says, I mean, yes, but survivors are not expected. We're mostly looking for any surviving weapons.
All right.
If you would like to help, we would certainly appreciate any help shifting rubble.
Absolutely. And I'll have Hayes help
Okay.
me do that.
Yeah, the two of you help shift some rubble around and stuff.
I am specifically looking for the weapon.
Sure. Make an athletics check for me.
Athletics. Oh, +9. 18.
Okay. 18. And what what are you, I guess, what are you planning to do if you find the
Well, I know where they're having their meeting, so I would probably just knock on the door, let myself in, and hand it to Ivan personally.
okay. So next I need from you is a investigation check.
Can I get the help action from Hayes because he's also looking with me? Sorry, my three-headed dog is not
Wow.
helpful.
How would Hayes be helping with this?
Oh, picking up rubble and stuff.
Yeah, that's. I don't think that's really. This is two separate things, right? The
Mhm.
athletics was how efficient are you at shifting rubble. The
Okay.
investigation is, can you find the thing before the other people looking for the thing?
Okay, gotcha. All right, then I'll just I will not take Hayes's help.
Okay.
All right, you did just an that's an investigation.
Yep.
That's also a 19.
Okay.
Which I'm very happy because it's a +0.
Yeah. You do manage to eventually find a familiar looking metal box. It's a little banged up, but still intact. And as you as you pull it from the rubble, it's like still like hot to the touch. So you have to be like very careful as you're handling it. But you have found the box with the weapon inside.
Cool.
And the lock is broken.
Oh God, you're tempting me. How big of a box is it? Remind me.
It's not small, but it's like Bjorn carried it, right? It's like it's a crate you could hold like this.
Okay. So like it's like I'm gonna peek. I'm gonna peek and see what's inside.
Okay. You open the lid and you peek inside and you see just a strange series of gears and pistons and levers. I mean, this is some kind of arcane contraption. You have absolutely no idea how it works.
Is Nyx nearby?
Nyx?
I can be.
Bowmin is gonna close the box and very nonchalant is just gonna like bring it over to Nyx, not to really bring any attention to him because he doesn't want necessarily the guards to know that he has it yet. And just gonna prop it
Okay. I am gonna ask you to make a stealth check, but if you would like, I will allow you to make it with charisma instead of dexterity to play it off as nonchalance.
Okay. Thank you. I will do that. Still not great. 15.
15. You make your way over to Nyx. Show her that you have the box with the broken lock.
I'm going to lift it up and just go. I don't think you should touch it, but maybe just examine it. I don't know. You like these things.
Yeah. Yeah. Should we? You seem to be hiding it a little bit. Should we take it back to like our
we
digs?
We should probably. I don't want to take it. Here's the thing. I don't want them to get more on us than they already are. I don't think we're in his favor right now.
Is there a wall or a half a wall or something that I could duck behind?
Sure.
With Bowmin in the box.
Sure.
Okay. I'm gonna take a look at it.
Okay. You open it up. As you do, the sort of gears and levers like shift into position, and you see this like contraption comes out and starts like assembling itself till there's some sort of like almost like a telescope device attached to a thing. Just a long rod with a telescope attached to the top of it. It's not like it's almost gun-like, but not quite. At any rate, and it all like pops out of the box. The box is like it's attached to the box. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me to see if you can figure out how this thing works.
11.
11. You are looking at it. It's complicated. I mean, you looked at the notes before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I will say having looked at the notes before it does give you advantage, so you may re-roll.
13.
13. Okay. Yeah, I mean, you are looking at it, it's really complicated. You think you could figure out how it works given time. But you can't figure it out right now.
This is too.
You do know that this is capable of unleashing arcane magic of a truly devastating scale. A very powerful arcane weapon. But again, not 100% sure how it works, what it does.
Bowmin, do you think we have like 10 minutes
Well,
with it? Because I could try to cast a spell to figure out what it does.
Hey Ben, how big is the box?
You could put it in the portable.
You have 10 minutes exactly.
I would need 10 minutes to be able to
So here's the thing.
figure out what this is.
Portable hole I have. You could also go in the portable hole, but you have 10 minutes before you suffocate.
Oh.
10 minutes until she runs out of air, then an amount of time determined by your constitution score.
Yeah.
Can I like start casting it and you put me in there after a few minutes?
Sure.
The longer you're out here, the more at risk you are somebody discovering.
Right.
But
Speaking of, I should be rolling.
they're probably gonna be looking for that for a little bit, and if they can't find it.
Can you give me like a minute out here?
Yep.
And
1
then
minute. I'll just drape my cloak.
Okay. And I start ritual casting identify.
You start ritual casting identify.
Can I say that Haze is actively blocking us from view?
Sure. You can say that. 1 minute passes. No one comes around the corner just yet, but Bowmin, you can hear voices coming closer. Do you at this point put them in the portable hole?
Dix, you ready?
Do I breathe normally?
Yeah, you have air until 10 minutes.
Okay, and you'll be timing it?
Yep.
How do I get back out?
I'll just pull you out.
Okay. How do I get your? What if you get distracted?
I won't.
Okay. Can I? Wait. hang on. I
Voices
have
are getting
message.
closer.
I have message, so I can
Mhm.
always. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Go.
And with that, you are in the portable hole. You tumble down to the bottom of this just dark pit.
Oh my god! It
Litter
smells awful.
with-
in
There
here.
is a decapitated head. in
Littered
there.
with a number of things, including, yes, the decapitated
Oh.
head of General Drakov.
Ooh.
But
Oh, it smells worse than the day before bath day.
but you continue casting ritual casting identify.
I like to think that because it's a cloak, all Bowmin's old man farts just
As you finish casting the spell, Nyx,
Mm-hmm.
you learn that this weapon that Bjorn has created, it does have a fault in it. You know what it is meant to do, and you know what it does do.
Okay.
What it does do is allow for one single cast of the spell Meteor Swarm before breaking completely. To tell you what the spell Meteor Swarm is a 9th level spell. Blazing orbs of fire plummet to the ground at 4 different points you can see within range. The range is 1 mile.
Ooh.
Each creature in a 40-foot radius sphere centered on each point you choose must make a dexterity saving throw. The sphere spreads around corners. A creature takes 20d6 fire damage and 20d6 bludgeoning damage on a failed save, or half as much damage on a successful one.
Damn.
This thing can cast that one single time before being broken forever. It is meant to be able to cast it once a day.
Gotcha.
You do not think it is fixable, but it is usable for that one single cast.
all right. 9
Oh man, let
minutes.
me out.
9 minutes go by. I pull Nyx out, not the weapon. I pull Nyx out first.
Okay. Yep.
You
So
alright?
that thing, one, he didn't do it right.
Not surprised.
But it has the spell Meteor Swarm ready, locked, and loaded. And when you set it off, Meteor Swarm will make 4 points, basically like explode within 4 points within a mile. Explode in a 40-foot sphere. Pretty much everybody's dead or like super seriously injured. Like if you're a normal person, you're probably dead. So it's supposed to be able to do it like once a day, but it can only do it once and then it's destroyed. So that's what this does. Also,
Well-
it smells awful in there. You need to
Yeah.
do some spring cleaning.
Oh. Okay, first of all, most of the junk that's in there is yours. I got your painting that you took from the
Yeah, but
mansion.
my shit doesn't stink.
A lot of people think that their shit don't stink, but also, yes, I know. I haven't cleaned it since Vinny's body was in there, so there might be some bits there, but
But dude, I'm not there, but my dude.
Ugh.
To be clear, Vinny's body is not in there
No, yeah.
anymore.
no.
But still, ugh.
Yeah. Honestly, when we stop moving for like a day, I'm just gonna prop it open and with some sticks and stuff. Just
Get everything out.
yeah, I need to do some fumigation. Really, I think we might have rats that have adapted.
Quite
to their
possibly.
lair. Yeah.
I heard some. I don't want to go back in there.
Yeah, don't listen to the voices. Don't.
Huh?
Yeah. Anyways,
Do we keep? Are you gonna keep it?
no,
Okay.
I don't.
Good.
I don't want that power or responsibility. Personally, I got a lot else dealing with. Artemis very upset with me. We'll talk about it later.
Part of me wants to mess with it so that it doesn't work at all, but I also don't want that to be the. I don't want the zombies to come and then that be the only thing that we can use to stop them.
I
But
think. I think at this point we have to give it back.
Yeah.
But at least we know what it is.
Yeah.
Do you think you could remake it?
Ah.
I'm just thinking if this whole, Byron thing goes south.
I feel like maybe in a while I could make it, but not right now.
Okay.
Right,
All right.
DM?
Correct. You could not make this.
All right.
For the same reason that you can't fix it, you're just not
Right.
you're just
Skilled.
not skilled enough yet.
We good here? You good?
Yep. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to present it to Ivan.
Okay. Yeah, you go to where they're having the meeting, which is, kind of just off the side somewhere. I assume you pull out of the hole before you approach them.
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna be like, hey, look what I found.
It was in my back pocket the whole
This
time.
whole time. New
Yeah.
pair of jeans. That's what it was.
What are you saying as you approach?
Excuse me, General Commander Ivan. Could
You see a flash of annoyance on Bjorn's face.
I found this in the wreckage.
Bjorn starts to step forward, but Ivan beats him to it, says, "Thank you very much, Bowmin. This will be useful for our planning." Nods at you and steps back to strategizing. With that, is there anything else anyone wants to do before the long rest? Okay, you can all head back, dome up, long rest. It's been a long day for some of y'all, or already had, I think, 30 hit points left.
I have 23.
I have a rock.
Yeah, I had
I
34
have-
left.
Yeah. Yeah. Rough. So, yeah, you all,
I can get rid of my level of exhaustion on that.
yes, a long rest, I believe, gets rid of up to 2 levels of exhaustion at a time.
Cool.
Yeah, so you all go back, you rest. Is there, next day comes around, is there anything you want to do the next day? Or are you just like reporting to Ivan and waiting to see what happens?
Before I long rest, I'm gonna curse Cass and get my little flower, my
Okay.
companion.
Yep. Great.
I think at this point, I think Bowmin thinks that Ivan is a target. And I think Bowman's going to take it upon himself to be a personal bodyguard at this
Okay.
point.
I will say late during the night is when Diesel returns. Says, "Oh, it's kind of like the old days, running sort of intelligence missions. You guys should be good."
Well, if it was you doing it, I don't doubt that.
Thanks. You all settle in. Yeah, next day, Bowmin, you are covering Ivan, just keeping an eye on him at all times. I assume everybody else is just kind of like waiting. Ivan sends you all to the south wall to prepare. As evening approaches, more and more of the citizenry are coming out, with their weapons and armor on, like ready. There was already a sense of dread, right? Because zombie attacks are always horrible, but it is much worse today without General Drakov there. You all are standing on the top of the wall of the city, waiting as the sun slowly sets in the sky and disappears beyond the horizon. Flames are lit all along the wall, and you wait. And you wait. And you wait. And Ivan tilts his head. Someone check in with the other commanders. I need to know if they're seeing what I'm seeing. Which is nothing. And no zombie horde attacks the city of Lakar that night.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, suck it, Artemis.
The night goes by peacefully. And everyone is confused. After the night is half over, people start drinking and just like absolutely losing their shit all throughout the city, and no one knows what on earth is happening, if they're just lucky this month, if it's somehow tied to the death of the general. You're not sure. No one's sure. But what they do know is they're not dealing with zombies tonight. And there is a great deal of elation throughout the city. The next morning rolls around. What are you guys gonna do? Are you just packing up and leaving right away? What's the plan?
I mean, if the mists are there, your girl is getting out.
Yeah.
I'm as much as I care about the people.
I think
Okay.
we should go and congratulate Ivan, and
Yeah.
maybe we should fill him in a little bit.
Yeah. And also
On-
tell Diesel the whole
well,
truth.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, we could tell
Well,
Ivan
Diesel
about-
knows what happened.
Oh, okay. Right.
I think we should tell Ivan.
Yeah, just about the fact that maybe what we saw about the general.
Oh, what's the general consensus of like how the people feel with like the the power dynamic? Are people now looking at Ivan as more of a leadership role, or is there something that needs to happen before to like kind of streamline that?
Make an insight check.
What is Bowmin's insight? 13.
Okay. It's hard to know exactly. You know it's the very early days of a transition of power. And those are not always smooth. They're not always a straight line. You think Ivan is as well set up as he can be for success, given the circumstances.
Okay. Well,
Um,
Where's the next place we're going?
I think
It's to see the wizard, but where does he live?
yeah.
We should see if Diesel's coming with us or not, though.
I think Diesel's staying.
Lamortia. We're going to Lamortia next. Or that's where we were gonna go, and then Bowmin was like, wait. Hard right.
Hold on.
Yeah, because we have to see Fearin, and I think he's in Lamortia.
yes.
Yeah.
We've been
Um,
here for a long time.
Diesel, slept with you guys again last night, but you all stayed with you guys. As they have been doing this whole time.
All of us? Busy. Sorry.
Oh my god.
This is a kid's show.
No, the fuck it's
Are we
not.
on YouTube Kids? Hi to my nieces and nephews.
Anyway, you go to see Ivan the next day, who's just like, he's like set up in a temporary command post. Him and a few of the other commanders are all sort of just gathered around a table, sort of having something of a hushed argument or whatever. But as he sees you all approach, he just holds up a hand and says, a moment, comrades. Hello, my friends. You find me on a strange morning. A good morning, but a strange one.
Yeah.
Quick sidebar for the rest of the team. We're telling him everything?
We need to get him alone to tell him
think we
Yeah,
tell
at least a little bit of
we
it.
tell
What are you
him
gonna
why
do?
the
Kill
zombies
us?
stopped.
Yes.
Mhm.
We don't necessarily say that we killed her.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ivan, if you have a moment to just step away from your compatriots, we would really appreciate a word privately.
Yes, all right. He follows you all off to the side. I assume you're telling me you're leaving on your journeys again?
Yeah. Are you familiar with Lords of the Domain?
Are you
No.
familiar with well, never mind. I didn't open my mouth because I can't finish the sentence.
Okay.
Anyways,
Oh,
been-
are you familiar with Ravenloft?
The plane of existence where we are?
Okay, good.
yes.
Just making sure.
I
Some
Well-
people
don't know what this Lords of the Domain thing is.
we've been traveling through Ravenloft, and we have found that every domain of Ravenloft has a lord tied to it that generally brings the vibe down, to put it in a simple sense. Unfortunately, the general was that lord, and the general was tied to the zombies.
I see.
And so once the general was no longer an issue, the zombies are no longer an issue.
It's gonna make an insight check against y'all real quick. Okay. Someone make me a deception check. I need one person to helm the party's deception on this.
I got 5.
How's Artemis's?
The plus 15.
Yeah.
Can we have him do it?
Sure. Yeah, he just says something like, yes, it's just how these domains work, and obviously tragedy the general died, but we found we found out a few things and have reason to believe that she was the Dark Lord, and when she perished, the fact the zombies didn't show up sort of confirmed those suspicions. Somebody else roll and add 15. Okay, go for it.
Go ahead.
Okay. 23.
23. Oh, okay. All right. Wow. Okay. What? Do you know what happens when a Dark Lord is destroyed? What happens to the?
Well, there's evidence that we have found through talking to some of the people that there was a time before the general was here. So that would lead to believe we would just revert back to what it was. As in, not necessarily all the kingdoms and the people could come back, as in, no zombies.
Hopefully that means you can maybe start to rebuild and you won't have to worry about so many people being injured and killed every month.
Would we know that, like, if there's like a chance that a different Dark Lord would come and take over?
Elina, I think you're the only one who could know. Go
Okay,
ahead.
could
and,
I know?
Go ahead. You're gonna make me a history check.
Ooh, nat 20 for a 27.
Ooh.
Nice. It's been a great role-playing episode.
You have heard rumors of the domain of Darkon. One of the earliest domains of Ravenloft, not the first was Ravenloft, but one of the earliest domains of Ravenloft, Darkon, may have had an original Dark Lord who was later replaced by a second Dark Lord named Azalin Rex. You also know that Azalin Rex has disappeared from Darkon, and that has created something of a crisis in Darkon, where the domain is getting eaten by the mist. But you don't know if that's just the case with Darkon and the mysterious circumstances surrounding Azalin Rex's disappearance. You don't know for sure. You know, there's all sorts of conflicting rumors you've heard about what happened, but what you do know is when Azalin Rex disappeared, his castle exploded in the center of Darkon. And shortly after that happened, the mist started eating away at the edges of Darkon. And so there's a lot of rumors about it potentially being a spell gone wrong, or the dark powers punishing Azalin for something, or punishing Darkon for something, or I mean, you're just not sure. And so Darkon has no Dark Lord right now.
Okay.
So
I'll share that, but there's no way to know what might happen, and I would just say keep an eye out, and I wouldn't disband the forces just yet.
well, if the mist does start to eat away this domain, perhaps at least the curse that prevents us from leaving has lifted, and can leave this place potentially for another place, if that starts to happen. I mean, I'm not going to keep people captive here anymore, that's for sure.
Good.
Assuming I'm able to, place
Well,
myself
it
in charge
may
here.
be easier to convince people to stay, seeing as they won't have to fight the zombies.
Oh, well. True
Yeah,
enough.
I would also run your platform off of that. Just, reclaiming your homes, yada, yada, yada.
Sure. Not a bad idea. Well, thank you all for this information. And for convincing me to do this. And everything you've done for this domain. If there's still a domain here, consider that you have friends here. Would be happy to welcome you back in.
Since we're friends, can I ask a favor?
Sure.
Do you have like coats and winter gloves and hats that we could have?
I could probably procure those for you.
That would be great. Thank you.
Right. Well, I better get back to my meeting. He nods at all of you and turns back to his meeting, sends a guard off to fetch you some winter clothes. Diesel then turns to you all. I already talked about this a little bit, but I'm gonna stay. I don't think there's anything for me back home. And I think there might be a future for this place. There are a lot of people here who need help. And I've spent what feels like my whole life fighting. Yeah, and we Aarakocra, we don't live long lives. Around 30 years. It's pretty much what we get. I would like to spend what is left of mine helping people. And I think I can do that here. And I don't know if I would have found that path without all of you. But especially you, say Mark.
Bowmin's very emotional.
Sure. Diesel comes over, gives you a big hug. After they pull back, they say, when you do get back home, tell me I'm okay. And I will be okay.
I'm not worried about you anymore. I mean, we did come in and do all the heavy work, but
you did. I'm not denying it. You saved my ass.
Just if you get another chance to write a letter, I will make sure that I have the opportunities to.
Yeah. Next time you pull through, I'll make sure to send a letter.
Yeah. Goodbye, my friend.
Goodbye.
Also, I feel it very insulting that you did not introduce us to this handsome Aarakocra.
It was me. I'm the handsome Aarakocra. I'm the only Aarakocra in the city.
I know.
I thought for sure. First time I was like, oh, he's just pulling my leg. And the second time, like, well, sometimes he misses the joke. But no, you got it. You're just being a dick. All right. I take it back. I won't miss you.
I doubt that.
Diesel hugs you again, gives you a literal peck on the cheek, and then turns and goes to Ivan's side and just sort of stands slightly behind Ivan. And you get the feeling that if Ivan and Diesel can get through these first few days and weeks of this transitionary period, they can leave this place to a better future. You all are eventually brought your new winter clothing. And by new, I mean,
Not new.
not
New
new,
to us.
but moldered and frayed, but thick and warm. And you can depart the city of Lakar. As you make your way back to the misty borders of this domain, I would love for someone to make me a quick perception check.
Right, plus 13.
Go for it.
Yeah, you go for it.
Good eyesight.
24.
24. As you're approaching the borders, you're leaving this domain around the same point that you first entered it. You do note that the mist has rolled in just a few yards further than where it was when you first arrived. You're not sure what to make of that in light of what Elina said. Could be something, could be nothing. Could just be fluctuating. It is mist. But you do notice that.
Regardless, I don't think Diesel will have a hard time finding a new hole if he needs to go into the mist. So.
With that, you all step into the mist with a new destination in mind. Last thing before we end. Can everybody make me a Constitution saving throw?
Oh.
Everyone gets +5 because everyone's near me.
Con save. Okay.
24.
Fail.
Well then, I'm
Oh my
toast.
I rolled
God.
shit.
13.
Fail.
11.
26.
Fail.
26. Holy shit.
So everybody fails.
Yeah, what was
Wait, what is it?
It was 30.
I got 22.
It was 30. You need to hit a 30.
Oh
Um,
my god.
I
don't-
plus 15. This is
Wait,
my
what
one
is-
thing.
what does Artie get?
Whatever his Constitution +4 +5 is, which is
Not enough.
not 30. Great.
Well, yeah, he does have a plus 26, so.
You all enter the mist. You're unconscious. You're all not sure what happened. You don't remember.
Ah.
Penny, I think you're the first one to come to. Your sight hasn't returned yet. You're not fully conscious yet, but your other senses come first. First is touch. You feel cold metal on your back. You feel your wrists clamped in manacles. You feel your body feels different.
This is
Your hearing comes next. You hear a low electric humming in the room. And you smell the scent of chemicals. A voice calls out and says, "Ah, one of them is awake. How excellent, how excellent. Yes. Excellent, excellent." Lights flash on, blinding you momentarily. You blink your eyes open. You shift as best you can. You see a woman dressed in lab gear, thick goggles on. She says, "The experiment was a success. Oh, how excellent, how excellent. Welcome, welcome. Oh, yes, your friends will awake soon, but you're the first to awake. I'm so very excited. I am Dr. Mordenheim. Please tell me your name."
Penny Presswell?
But you do not hear your voice. You hear the voice
No.
of Artemis. And with that, we will end tonight's episode.
Oh,
Oh no.
yes.
Thank
I'm
you all
so
for
pumped.
playing. Thank you all for watching. And we will see you next time. Have a good night, everybody.
My god.